And we are live. Hello, one and all, and welcome to this WWE Survivor Series 2016 card predictions video. In this video, we're going to give our card predictions for the upcoming big, spectacular Big Four pay-per-view event. It airs November 20th live on the WWE Network. And with me to give his own card predictions for Survivor Series, I have my good friend Robbie One Kenobi. Robbie, thank you again for joining me for another video collaboration here on YouTube.
Always a pleasure. Always a pleasure.
This is going to be fun. Now, we've done this before. Actually, we did this for SummerSlam a couple of months back, which is hard to believe. It just goes to show you, wow, we're already in November, folks. It's crazy. So, before we get into our card predictions, Robbie, at the moment, seeing as how we are only, how many days is it? Like 17? 17 days till Survivor Series. Are you looking forward to Survivor Series this year? What's your level of hype?
I'm interested in seeing how these matches play out. You know, they're doing Raw versus SmackDown, which I'm fine with, but I think maybe if they saved it until next year's Survivor Series, where they built it up a little bit, because the brand split just happened in July.
It did.
So yeah, so I'm still looking forward to watching the pay-per-view because I do like the Raw vs. SmackDown matches they have so far. You have Brock versus Goldberg, which I hope is a million times better than the stinker they gave us at WrestleMania 20. Yeah, like I was saying, I think that if this happened next year, where there's more time to build toward it and each brand establishes themselves, even though we already know SmackDown's been burying Raw. I mean, I think it would have a little more meaning behind it, because like I said, the brand split just happened in July, and when the very first Raw vs. SmackDown Survivor Series went down in 2005, that brand split had been established for about 3 years.
3 years. So, yep.
Yeah, but I'm still looking forward to watching it, because with what they have so far, if given the right amount of time, because of course it has to go 4 hours this year, which I was baffled.
I'm sorry. I mean, if they can make it work, like we said about SummerSlam, I felt like SummerSlam could have been a good 4-hour show, but the problem with that show was, why the hell did you need a freaking pre-show for 2 hours? Like, seriously. That's what killed it, I think, for SummerSlam, if you notice, because the crowd was sitting there for how many hours? What was it? 6. So I think you could do an hour pre-show, have the show itself kick off with one pre-show match, and then do your 4-hour show. That's the way you – because remember – I go back to this. Remember a good 4-hour show? WrestleMania 30. That was a perfect 4-hour show. Why? Because it kept flowing. It didn't stop. You know, the pre-show was what it was. The crowd was into it. So I go back to that. I always go back to that model. It can be done. Just don't have a 2-hour pre-show if you're going to have 4 hours of a main show. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Definitely. I mean, the next thing you know, Daniel, and I hate this, but you know it's eventually going to happen. They're going to make Royal Rumble 4 hours.
It's happening. It's going to happen.
And then you know what they'll do? They'll make the match like a 40 or 50-man.
Oh, I didn't like when they did 40-man.
It's just overkill.
I don't get it. I don't get it when the product right now is not really that popular, and we have it more content than one can imagine. And you wonder why. I'm sorry, real quick here. You wonder why you can't get new fans to watch this. They have to watch this many hours of this many hours of that. The pay-per-views, it's not, to me, enticing to get new fans. It's a gap. To me, it's like you're blocking off new fans from coming in.
Yeah, so long story short, Daniel, I am looking forward to watching it. I hope these SmackDown matches, I hope they're great. That tag team match, however, I think is going to be a clusterfuck because there's too many talent in it. But I'm looking forward to it. I really hope they use the 4 hours wisely this time, and that every match delivers, because the elimination matches are going to need a good 20 minutes.
30. They can go 30 each.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to it. I think Raw has a strong team so far. I like SmackDown's team. I love the fact that SmackDown's teams are already established, and Raw still has to pick like one for the men. They have to pick more tag teams, and they have to pick 2 more women. So already SmackDown is beating Raw. So I'm looking forward to watching the pay-per-view. I just hope it delivers. A good 4 hours or a great 4 hours. It can. But we'll see. We've said this before, and it didn't go so well at SummerSlam. So
yeah, I'm holding my doubt. You know, remember how excited we were for SummerSlam, and just like, man, what could have been. And I hope we come out of Survivor Series, because you think about it, Royal Rumble was good. Mania was just okay and kind of disappointing, and so was SummerSlam. So 2 out of the big 4 pay-per-view have been disappointing. So hopefully they can deliver with the final big 4 pay-per-view. Oh, and speaking of this, how less is more, I don't know if anybody noticed this, but guess how long of a build there is for TLC?
2 weeks or something?
2 weeks.
Well, they did start building up to it on Talking Smack.
See, I don't like that, though. It's too many perfect. That's a whole nother video for another topic, but it just, to me, it illustrates, like, that's just not enough time.
Yeah.
How are they?
Overkill.
Oh, my God. I love SmackDown. Don't get me wrong.
I love
but
SmackDown too, yeah.
How can you, 2 weeks? To me, trying to juggle to build to Survivor Series and TLC at the same time, that just confuses the fan. You know, that it's like, whoa, where are, you know, I like when there's only one thing we focus on. It's just, I noticed that and it made me worried. I'm like, I'm sure it'll be a good show, but it's just like 2 weeks. Why not just make it 1 week? Eventually, we're gonna have a pay-per-view every single Sunday. You watch. They're gonna do it every Sunday.
No, that's too much for me, man. I can't keep going.
It's gonna happen. They're gonna do it.
No, don't.
I'm sorry.
No,
I'm sorry, people.
I'm sorry. I gotta say one more thing real quick. Raw talk. Are you serious?
How bad was it? Because I didn't even watch it.
But I heard it was a mess.
Yay.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. Raw was desperate right there to launch that because there's only one. Talking Smack is very authentic. Raw is trying to compete with SmackDown. They're desperate. So. If they really wanted to compete, why don't they go back to 2 hours? Oh, but they don't want to do that, do they? Oh, I'm sorry. No.
They want to. Oh God, I don't want to go off on a tangent because I could.
No. Yeah, no more negativity. We're gonna keep that power.
Yes. All right. So, how do you want to do this? Do you just want to read your card and then I'll do my card? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, the same way we've done it before. You know, we go through our card and just briefly talk about. Yeah, we can do it that way. That works best. I think that works best.
All right, let's start with what do you got?
Okay, so obviously this first match is the big draw: Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. I would have it be a no disqualification match, just because they need to just beat the hell out of each other to make up for the WrestleMania match. Let them just fight. A good 15 minutes where they can use whatever. I think that definitely make up for WrestleMania 20. I do have a women's traditional Survivor Series elimination match, but it's just 4-on-4, not 5-on-5. So I would have Team Raw, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Nia Jax versus Team SmackDown, Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, Alexa Bliss, and Carmella.
Okay.
Simple. You have feuds that are inserted, I guess, because you got, Becky and Alexa are gonna have their feud, and of course Nikki Bella and Carmella have their feud, and then you have Charlotte, Sasha, and Bayley, with Nia Jax being thrown in like that little powerhouse, because of Strowman getting thrown into Raw. But it's a simple women's elimination match, Raw versus SmackDown. Keeping with the theme of elimination matches, I have a nice one right here. American Alpha versus the Usos in a #1 contenders tornado tag team elimination match. And the winners would become #1 contenders for the SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
I like that. I like that a lot. That's different.
Yeah.
They haven't
had a pay-per-view match. The Usos have been getting one up on American Alpha because of their 2-on-1 advantage. I feel like this time American Alpha will have a little favor in their hands because it would be them versus the Usos. They're all going to be in the ring together. So whoever gets that first elimination is going to have a huge advantage for their team. So, and this would also establish #1 contenders. And this is perfect because I like the feud. I didn't say this, but the way that Jimmy Uso or whichever Uso helped his brother beat, I think it was Gable, when the Uso was using his feet for the leverage on that pin. Remember that on that episode of SmackDown?
Yes, I do.
That was brilliant. I love it, and I love how that feud's been going. So I think if you want to call it a blow off or whatever, this is perfect.
Yeah, that would be a tremendous match. I'm waiting for that feud to get going because I know it will. We've seen it, but it's kind of been on the back burner for a couple weeks now.
Yeah. I also have the New Day defending their tag team championships against Enzo and Big Cass and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson in a triple threat tag team championship elimination match. And here's the kicker. If I was booking this match, I would have the New Day be eliminated first.
Wow.
Yes. And then I'd have it come down to Enzo and Cass versus Anderson and Gallows, and I'd have Anderson and Gallows win.
Yeah.
I'd have Anderson and Gallows. Listen, if I was booking this, I'd have Anderson and Gallows eliminate the New Day first, and then Enzo and Cass. And I think that would really help rebuild them. That would be a start. You'd have Gallows and Anderson as the tag champs on Raw. AJ, of course, as the world champion on SmackDown. I would throw in that shocker, the New Day getting eliminated first. Like when Taz got eliminated in ECW back in 2000 or late 1999 when he was the champ, and he got eliminated in a triangle match. I do something really different. Shake things up.
I like that. They deserve. They should have won it at SummerSlam or Clash. I don't know where they're going with the club, but that would be a great way to get them back on track.
If they bulldoze through both of those teams, or if Enzo and Cass and Gallows and Anderson did like all their moves on the New Day, and then Gallows and Anderson just obliterated Enzo and Cass, that'd be a great way to get them back on track. Now, I do like the idea of Dolph Ziggler's open challenge for the Intercontinental Championship, so I would have that on here. Now, obviously, we don't know who it's going to be yet, but if I was to pick, since this is my fantasy card, my open challenge would be Dolph Ziggler defending the Intercontinental Championship against Cedric Alexander.
Did you see that interaction on Twitter? I saw he posted a tweet. He was like, hey, maybe is it open to cruiserweights? That's exactly what he said. I don't know if you caught that.
One on Raw.
He did.
Why not do Cedric Alexander?
That'd be a hell of a match.
Yeah, I would do Cedric because, like I've said before in other videos, I feel like he's the one cruiserweight that could transcend the division. He could break out and he could do, U.S. title, tag title, Intercontinental title. If this happened and he won it, he would fit perfectly on SmackDown. Oh
yeah. I agree.
He would fit perfectly on SmackDown. Imagine him mixing it up with The Miz, AJ, Apollo Crews, Kalisto when he comes back, Cena, Ambrose. He would kill it, man. So I'm hoping they actually give a cruiserweight the chance to win the title, and then they actually bring that guy to SmackDown. If Cedric was to win it and come to SmackDown, wow, that would be awesome for SmackDown. Team Blue would be riding big.
Definitely.
And I wouldn't have a problem with Rich Swann accepting the challenge if he did, because Rich Swann, he is very popular. He's very over with the crowd right now, man.
Yes, he is.
Did you see NXT last night?
It was a good show. It was really.
I was at that San Jose show actually.
Wow, the one where what match was it? Sean Thornton and Roderick Strong. That was good. And Swan and No Way versus Authors of Pain. That was a good match. That was one of the better matches I've seen the Authors of Pain in.
Oh yeah, that was a good fun match. Jose and Swan, they got a big pop from the crowd when they came out. Like that 450, that Phoenix Splash he did on the outside. Dude, that was got my friend out of his seat, man.
That looked like a good show.
Yeah, I plan on doing a video later this week about it, just sharing my thoughts. But NXT San Jose was an awesome experience, man. I loved it. We had Nakamura, Asuka, Bobby Roode, Ty Dillinger. Who else did we have? We had Oni
Tommaso and Ciampa.
No, they weren't there. They were in Florida, I think. Oh. But it was still a great show, man. Like I can only imagine that was the same experience you had with NXT Pittsburgh.
Oh yes, I can't wait. I know they're coming back probably in January, so I can't wait to go to that.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. I had a blast at NXT San Jose. NXT, that's why they're taking over, man. It was so much fun. That was an awesome experience.
They care and they want you to have a good time.
Definitely. Okay, sorry, lost my track. Getting back to my fantasy match card. I also have a Team Raw versus Team SmackDown traditional Survivor Series elimination match. It'd be Team Raw, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Rusev, Cesaro, and Chris Jericho versus Team SmackDown, AJ Styles, Dean Ambrose, Baron Corbin, Bray Wyatt, and Randy Orton. So it's basically the same team that Shane and Daniel Bryan put together. Because I like SmackDown's team because with the talent they have, you got to go with your big power players. So I think either way, I think the Team Raw, Team SmackDown All-Stars match will be a great match. My match, however, would be crazy. I think it'd be a little better because look, we got Cesaro and Rusev on Team Raw. And if you notice, no Kevin Owens, because he's the subject of my next match. I had to do this match because if Survivor Series is in Toronto and Kevin Owens is your champion, there's only one logical challenger to earn the right to face him at Survivor Series. So I would have Kevin Owens defending the Universal Championship against Sami Zayn, wait for it, in a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Wow. That is just tremendous.
It has to happen, man. In Canada, that would be huge. They're both proud Canadian. You know, why not have you're doing Bobby Roode and Ty Dillinger at NXT Toronto? Why not do Owens and Zayn at Toronto?
Wow.
That's huge.
Yes, it would be.
And then, like I said, Brock and Goldberg would be no disqualification.
Okay.
That's my card pretty much. 7 matches, but 7 big matches. I mean, 4 hours, yes, I'm not a fan of it, but I think these matches, especially the elimination matches, would really make up for that 4 hours. You know what I mean? I feel like
that would fill a card. That definitely would.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is a pretty impressive card. I don't know if mine even comes close to it, but here's what I got. Let's start from the bottom, and we'll work our way to the top. So at the bottom of my card, I have a triple threat match for the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. The Brian Kendrick defending his title against T.J. Perkins, who is due, and Rich Swann. A triple threat match, seeing as how Rich Swann was the one to pin Brian Kendrick 2 weeks ago on Raw. Therefore, I think he would be entitled for a match against the champion. And TJ Perkins obviously has unfinished business. You put all 3 guys in the ring together, boom. I think that would be a pretty good triple threat match for the Cruiserweight title, wouldn't you say?
I like the continuity in there too, Daniel. I like it.
Because it makes sense. You want to go with logic, right?
Yes.
So that's how I'd book it.
Yeah.
My next match is, well, seeing as how Dolph Ziggler laid down the open challenge to any Raw superstar, I figured it would make sense. They have to have this guy on the card, and I like how your scenario got this guy on the card, but I would have Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn for the Intercontinental Championship. It would be I hope.
Go ahead.
That's okay. I hope that's the match that we get, and I think that will be the match that we get, because I'm just thinking, who on Raw, Sami Zayn was in the Battle Royale, he didn't get on Team Raw, so they have to have a plan for him. You would hope, although they really haven't since he's been on Raw, which is baffling. And what I would like to see is, I don't know if it would happen, I'd like to see Sami Zayn win the Intercontinental title and go to SmackDown. Think about that.
Same here, man. Same here. If
he's on the wrong brand.
If he's not on Team Raw, your best bet is to put him in the Intercontinental Championship Open Challenge. That would be insane. That would be a hell of a...
Imagine.
Yes.
The reaction. I would keep it probably a surprise until that night. What do you think? I would just be like, Ziggler comes out, he's like, all right, who's it going to be? And then big pop.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
You could kick off the show with that if you want. That would be a great.
Hell yeah. That would be a great way to get going. Yeah. I would definitely save the challenger, whoever. I would definitely save that reveal for Survivor Series. But if Raw wants to do something interesting, have a series of matches where guys are trying to impress.
Mick Foley. That makes sense.
Mick Foley can pick the perfect challenger for Dolph Ziggler. Do it that way. Have these guys work hard, have matches where they impress, and then decide. But then I want to ask you this. I know we're going to do predictions later on the show, later in the month, not too long from now.
It's coming up.
Yeah. What if, and I'm kind of scared for this scenario, but what if Raw acquires Samoa Joe? What if they do that?
If it was a well-booked show, I'd love to see him on Raw. With that talent roster, that's the thing. I'm looking at the talent roster alone. Hell yeah, I'd love to see him on a 2-hour Raw with good creative writing and good storyline directions, but I know we're not going to get that, at least until things change and that show gets an overhaul. So he needs to go to SmackDown. That's what I've been saying. He needs to be a surprise in the Royal Rumble and debut on SmackDown.
Yeah, definitely.
Go.
I want it to be Dolph Ziggler versus Sami Zayn, and
it could be Joe. You never know.
Yeah, but then I'm afraid they're not going to use him right.
That's true. I don't know. I just think SmackDown that SmackDown needs more depth. So why wouldn't you put them on SmackDown?
Let me just say this. I thought about this last night. He's probably going to be in the tag team match. It's probably Cesaro and Sheamus will probably represent Raw in that tag match. But if not, either let it be Cesaro or Sami Zayn and let one of them take the title from Ziggler.
Right.
Yeah, that's it. And then they go to SmackDown. Because if Cesaro and Sheamus are in that tag match, then Sami Zayn, in my opinion, is your only real top pick, unless you want to put Cedric Alexander on SmackDown and you want to have him beat Dolph Ziggler, which I totally be fine with that because Cedric would be the perfect pick of a cruiserweight to break the mold and go to SmackDown. So you want a cruiserweight to make noise, have Cedric beat Dolph Ziggler.
That would definitely make an impact, no pun intended. So we'll see, but I see it being Ziggler and Sami Zayn. So
I'm totally for it.
Yes, me too. It'll be a really good match too if it happens. So
my top 3 picks. I'm sorry, Daniel. My top 3 picks: Cedric Alexander, Sami Zayn, and Cesaro. Any of them against Dolph Ziggler.
I'd be fine with any 3 of those. Those are really good picks. All right, let's move on to the 5-on-5 traditional women's elimination match. Now, keep in mind, I had these picks already lined up, so I pretty much have the exact same team that they have for SmackDown Live: Becky, Alexa, Nikki, Carmella, and Naomi. And for Team Raw, we still have a couple spots left, so I would like to see, obviously, I think that will be Sasha Banks taking her side next to Charlotte, Bayley, Nia Jax, and instead of Dana Brooke, who I think it'll be, I'd rather see Emma fill that final spot. Can we have Emma finally make her long-awaited return? I know they've been holding her back. And put her on the Raw Survivor Series team. I'd rather see her than Dana Brooke, who seriously needs to go back to NXT. And I think this will be a really good traditional 5-on-5 women's elimination match if you give them enough time. You know, you got a ton of talent in there, and that's my picks to fill the final spots on the Raw side of things.
Definitely. If I can just say one thing about Emma, I love Emma, but I don't know if this Emma-Lena thing is going to even work.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing this. Why not just have her go back to being the badass she was when she...
Because that makes sense. That's why they can't do it. Vince probably got a hard-on for her. Oh, look how beautiful she is. We're going to give her a makeover, and it'll be glorious. Ha, ha, ha.
Glorious!
I love that word. Never gets tired of saying.
One more thing. I am so sick and tired of seeing that KFC commercial. Because
it's awful.
We did you this, man. Like, we're really doing Dolph Ziggler, the Colonel versus Chicken Miz. We're really doing that again. Like,
see, and here's the thing:
his ass off.
Somebody brought this up. I'm not going to name their name, but they play that, and then that takes me out of the feud that Miz and Ziggler are having in a way. Because you're telling me, like, I know it's all kayfabe and whatnot, but like this chicken finger commercial airs, and it's like. And then I'm supposed to buy into that these two really hate each other, yet they film the chicken commercial. Like, that is awful. That it just takes you out of the story. Do you see my point?
I totally understand. As I was driving home earlier today, I was thinking about it. Like,
awful.
Vince is probably laughing his ass off every time commercial because he's probably thinking, "Oh, I like KFC and I like chicken and I like cocks."
Yes, he does. Well, you know what, Vince? This is what I would tell him. Why don't you and your stupid daughter do the commercial next time and make a bunch of asses out of yourselves? I'd say that right to his face. Seriously, you wonder why you can't build new stars. Everybody thinks these guys look like a bunch of jamokes or jabronis. It's like, serious. Can you imagine The Rock doing that or Stone Cold? Hell no. You know what they'd say? I ain't doing this piece of crap, and you can shove that down your goddamn throat. That's what Stone Cold. You know they'd say that. Austin, he wouldn't do it.
Yeah,
Rock would never be caught. That it's embarrassing. They're getting their money's worth, so kudos to them. By the way, don't you hate when they do Subway ads and product placement in the show after they had like 3 minutes of commercial? Just a minor rant. Just too many. It's awful.
Anyway, back to your card, man. What else you got?
Where are we? We're on the tag team side of things. For SDLive, we have Heath, Slater, and Rhyno, Alpha, the Usos, the Hype Bros, and I'd like to see that last spot filled by BreezeDango. Where the hell have they been? I mean, seriously, it's like, do they even exist anymore?
I can actually answer that, Daniel. I don't know what's the gimmick, but you know how like on WWE's YouTube, like they show the little videos, like backstage videos and stuff. Okay, they've been dressing up as cops.
Okay.
I don't know what the gimmick is, but they've been dressing up as cops. Going backstage.
Is it funny?
I haven't seen it. I've just seen the thumbnail, but I don't know. I feel like, and yes, they're on SmackDown, but I feel like Tyler Breeze needs to go on his own. I really want.
Yeah, he does. If you're not gonna do anything with them as a tag team, you got a great singles guy ready.
Yeah,
I don't get it. So,
yeah.
And then on the Raw side of things, seeing as how we only have the New Day announced, I think it'll be Enzo and Cass, Anderson and Gallows, the Shining Turds, and Cesaro and Sheamus. That'll fill out the Raw side of things.
Yeah.
And then let's get on to my 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. I have a little bit things a little different here. And you'll see how it plays as we get to the top of my card. I have Kevin Owens, Chris Jericho, Rusev, Roman Reigns, and Braun Strowman for Team Raw, taking on Team SDLive, which is made up of AJ Styles. I'm taking out Randy Orton and replacing him with, here it comes, The Undertaker, who will be at the final SmackDown Live. I'd love to see some Taker on Team SDLive. We'll see if it happens. Ambrose, Corbin, and Wyatt fill it out. So that's your big 5-on-5 team. That would be a hell of a team.
Okay, let me get this. AJ, Taker, Ambrose, Corbin, and Wyatt. That's a stacked team right there, dude, straight up.
It could happen.
But
maybe
Taker hurt, or wasn't he on crutches the other day or something?
Well, I don't know how long ago that was, but he was at a basketball game and looked pretty good. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. If that dude, if if Orton gets hurt, if storyline he gets injured, throw Taker in.
Well, he's not going to be on the show anyway, so I don't know why they threw him in there, because the report said he requested it off or whatnot. So we already know he's not going to be there, so somebody has to fill his spot. It'll either be Taker or Cena. That's my pick.
Or Harper.
Or Harper. Well, I mean, they want the – I don't know. I like Harper, don't get me wrong, but they want a big name probably.
Yeah.
So that's my idea.
All right. But
we'll see.
I like it. I like it. You're dude, I love how SmackDown may not have a big amount of talent, but they use their talent well. And look at this team you built.
Yes, I did. Thank you.
And Taker's a free agent, dude. He hasn't even been drafted.
He could really go wherever he wants to, which is why he's showing up on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So we'll see what – I can't wait for that November 15th SmackDown Live. That should be good stuff. But speaking of, the stipulation that I would like to see added is the winning team gets 2 superstars from the losing brand.
Oh, yeah.
You know, 3 I think would be too much, but at least 2 is that fine line. It's more than 1, and it's in between 2 and 1 and 3. So we'll see if they actually add that. I think they should. It just makes sense. Because, like, if they don't, it's just like, okay, if SmackDown wins, okay. You know what I mean? Like, don't you feel if they don't add a stipulation, it'll be nice, it'll be matches, but it's like, what's on the line?
If SmackDown wins, they should get 3 draft picks to make up for the fact that Raw raped them in the draft. And obviously, those 3 picks should be Cesaro, Sami Zayn, and either Neville, Bo Dallas, or Rusev.
No, they won't do. You know what they'll do? They'll have them take Titus O'Neil and the Shining Stars.
Bullshit. That better not happen. Hell no.
Watch. Vince would do that. He would do something like that.
What other matches you got, man?
And our final 2 matches, I'd like to see Seth Rollins versus Triple H.
Really?
Yes. Because if you're not going to have him on Team Raw, which is, you know, where he probably will end up, I'd love to see that match happen. I don't think it will, seeing as how we're only 2 weeks away, but never say never. We'll see. But if it doesn't happen at Survivor Series, it's either going to happen at Rumble or Mania. So it's going to happen. The question is just when.
Yeah.
So that would be a huge match, and it would help fill out the card, you know.
Yeah.
And then finally, Lesnar versus Goldberg. But in my card, I have this as a no-holds-barred match. I feel like you can get away with a little bit more under that stipulation.
Yeah, definitely. I hear what you're saying.
So that leaves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches on my card as well. So that rounds out my card predictions, fantasy card predictions for Survivor Series. So that's it. Yeah, so good cards from both of us. Anything else, Robbie, you want to say here? End things off?
Well, if I can just get my 2 cents in on something.
Sure.
I read in an article there's a certain somebody in WWE that does not like Becky Lynch's accent. And I'm not cool with that.
No.
Because Becky Lynch is Irish. And you know who else is Irish? Finn Balor and Sheamus. So I'm not cool with this one person who has a problem with Becky Lynch's accent and it has to cut her promo time. I think that's wrong. I think that's discriminate. And honestly, like, this guy's got to go because that's messed up. I don't see you cutting Sheamus or Finn Balor's promo time, and they're both Irish. And I'm a quarter Irish myself. I don't have an accent, but like, I read that earlier this morning and it pissed me off because it involves one of my favorite women's wrestlers, and it involves a certain somebody in the back in the office that has a problem with her accent. Like, that is low and that is fucked up. So to that person, go screw yourself. Becky Lynch deserves better, and I'm happy she's doing what she's doing on SmackDown. But that's messed up because next thing you know, this person's gonna have a problem with somebody else's accent, and if they like target Latinos, I'm gonna be really pissed. So I just had to say that. Becky Lynch, keep doing your thing. You deserve promo time. Don't let some snake whatever tell you about your accent. That's messed up.
I really hope that isn't true. I hope that's just internet rumor, but if it is, that's just not right. And that person is a lowlife.
To end it on a more positive note,
yes, let's.
Yeah, I had fun, of course, Daniel, doing this. I wish our cards would come to fruition, because both of ours have some really great matches. I mean, I'm still like salivating over Team SmackDown with Undertaker as the wild card. Like, oh my God,
make that happen,
man. Make that happen, please.
It could. I mean, why else would he appear on the 900th SmackDown? We'll have to see.
Yeah, I like Corbin's in the match because I was
yes.
thinking that this could be a chance for him to. You know what's funny? Corbin and Strowman have a chance to shine in this match if booked.
They do.
Yeah,
I'm happy for them. It's a good opportunity. I like seeing young guys elevated.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see James Ellsworth as the SmackDown flag bearer.
That would be great. Or the coach.
No, you know what I don't like is that they have Natalya as the Team SmackDown Women's coach. I'm afraid she's going to cost them the match. I don't want that. I love Natalya. I love her. She's great, but I don't want her as the team coach or anything. I'm afraid that's going to screw the SmackDown women over big time.
It could.
But I want Ellsworth walking out with a big old SmackDown.
Oh, my God. Please. I love that guy. He's just fun, you know. You just don't take him too seriously. Enjoy him for what he is, and
yeah, he's great, man. What I like about him is, like, okay, I haven't seen your SmackDown review. I do plan on watching it, but like, look at what they did with him on SmackDown. He came out. He was very sorry for costing Dean Ambrose his shot at the title. He was very apologetic, so you feel sympathy for the guy. He may not be the biggest, he may not be the strongest, but you've fallen in love with this guy because you can relate to him in a way. And he's so sorry. You see him following Dean Ambrose all around the freaking back. And then what did he do? He
got thrown out.
And then he got back in and the security chased him all over the arena.
That was fun.
It was great.
It's just fun. Can we just relax and have fun? I mean, I don't like being overly critical.
I have to believe that working on SmackDown is better. I got to believe that working on SmackDown, there's less politics to worry about. More superstars are getting to be themselves. I like what Alexa Bliss is doing. How she's, I like how she's calling herself the fairest of them all, and how she quoted the Wizard of Oz. Her heel character's been doing well since going to SmackDown.
Great. One of the best female heels in the company.
I got like NXT. Oh my God, you have to have a blast working there with that environment, because that environment is just like a family environment. I gotta believe on SmackDown, it's a better environment than Raw. Even if there are some politics, you gotta just believe that when you go to SmackDown, you're gonna be better. You're gonna be handled better. You know?
Yes.
Look what they're doing. Like, think about it. You were at that Raw in Pittsburgh when Ellsworth got crushed by Braun Strowman, right?
I was. Wow.
He was at that Raw, right? That you were at.
Mm-hmm.
And who'd have thought that he'd become like one of the biggest names on SmackDown weeks later?
That is something I never would have, going back to that night, thinking about it. No, I didn't.
Dude, he has to be in the Royal Rumble match. He needs to be one of the 15 from SmackDown, straight up.
That would be great.
Even if he only lasts like 5-7 minutes, let him like eliminate just one guy. I don't care who. Let him do a Maven.
Yeah.
Let him eliminate like who would be perfect?
Strowman
or Corbin. Or I don't care. What if you throw the Shining Stars in there and he dumps them both out at the same time?
See, I think I'd like the Strowman idea because it would come full circle. You know, he didn't beat him on Raw, but now he eliminated him in the Royal Rumble, and then Strowman beats the whole piss out of him.
Daniel, that's great logic and great continuity right there, man.
Yes.
Great. I love it.
Tie it all together.
Yeah. Imagine
do that.
Yeah, imagine he runs in the. Imagine Strowman's like beating guys up, and the next one to come out is James Ellsworth, and he has that little concerned look on his face, and Strowman's just licking his chops.
He takes him too easily, and that's what leads him to getting eliminated. It would be really good stuff.
Dude, why are we not booking for the WWE right now?
Because they have 30 writers. Give me a break. Come on.
Yeah, any other ideas you have, like for the future for Royal Rumble, anything like that?
That'll be a fun. I can't wait to do a fantasy Royal Rumble. That'll be our next video coming up.
Yeah, definitely.
I want to save that for that video down the line.
Hey, I want to say something. Do you think if Darren Young goes to SmackDown, just Darren Young on his own, and they rebuild him, you think he can do well?
He could be a good mid-card talent, sure, with the right booking. It would help if we've seen him.
I don't know where he's been. Oh, I know where he was. On Raw Halloween, he dressed up like Mr. Backlund.
Oh, I must have missed that.
No, it was backstage. It was the Raw Fallout sections.
Oh, see, it's yeah, I don't know what the hell. Him and Titus were feuding, and that was awful. And thank God they at least ended that.
Okay, I wanna say one thing real quick before we go off the air, and I'm not trying to be negative, but I just want to. This is my thoughts as a fan. I love Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, Rusev, Lana, Cesaro, Rollins, Jericho, Owens, etc., etc. Here's the problem. They're on the show that has been delivering lackluster, uninspired episodes for a while now. That's what I hate. Why can't they all be on SmackDown? Why can't SmackDown be the flagship show for 2 hours every week? I hate it because I love them all on Raw, but I feel bad they have to be on this show where the product is bad, you know, it's a mess. It's like where SmackDown's going straight. We know where we're going. Raw's all over the place. Like their GPS crapped out and they can't find direction.
That GPS has been broken for a long time now.
Yeah. I wish Sasha was on SmackDown. I wish Rollins was on SmackDown. Enzo and Cass. When Triple H finally takes over, that is going to be a beautiful day. That'll be like a rebirth, so to speak, when he takes over.
And you know then it will finally go back to 2 hours. He even said it. It's too hard to book a 3-hour show with half your roster. How many times do I have to bring that up?
Exactly. And I was going to ask you something about Raw because you just reminded me of something. What do you think of this Cruiserweight show that's coming up?
Well, now that you brought that up, I have a video coming up later on for my channel, so stay tuned for that. But just to give you a little bit in my mind, I'm looking forward to it. Now, I probably won't. It's too much to. I'll probably watch it on Wednesdays or maybe on Thursday. To me, I'd rather have had it on a Wednesday or Thursday rather than after SmackDown because it's just 3 hours. Here we go again. It'll be good. But I'm just going to space out when I watch it, like my viewing time. It's just going to be, you know what I mean? But I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a good thing for the Cruiserweights.
Yeah. I hope they go. I know Triple H cares about that talent, so I know they'll be able to just be themselves. They won't be watered down like on Raw. And I like your idea. They should have just had that first on the USA Network.
Thank you.
9 to 11 Raw.
There you go. You just fixed the 3 hours. That's all. I wish I could tell them this. Like, sir, that is the solution. It's staring them. How did they not see this? I understand you want it on the network, but it would cut Raw back. And you're doing the same thing with. It's the same thing with SmackDown. Just put it on Raw. Like, oh my God, I just found the solution. These idiots. They don't. I would like to see somebody said, well, how would it do amongst casuals? I'd give it a shot because look at Raw's ratings. I mean, they keep going down, down, down. Man, I'm sorry. I wish they do that. I really would love to. I mean, you already have cruiserweights on Raw to begin with, so boom, put the show there.
I know. I was hoping the cruiserweights would do well on Raw. Why not dedicate a whole hour to the cruiserweights? Like 3 matches for the first hour.
Nope, can't do that.
Uh-huh. And then I got to ask. I saw this on Instagram, and I was just laughing my ass off. Enzo and Cass dressed up like Toy Story, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Did you like it?
I chuckled, and then the match happened, and I threw up. If somebody walked in and they saw me watching that, I would hang my head in shame. I'm like, I'm sorry. Why am I watching? I'm embarrassed to watch this show. They should have had. I was gonna say they should have had Negan come out and really show them what a Halloween looks like. Take the baseball bat and just start beating some brains. And I'm like, yeah, enough of this kitty jack-o'-lantern bobbing for apples. Like, what the hell was that?
Yeah,
who thought that was a good idea? Well, I know who.
But only Enzo and Cass can make the Toy Story costumes.
Yes. Anybody else? No.
They referenced it. Remember Enzo, the promo he cut during Hell in a Cell? That was brilliant. The whole
I love that movie.
Toy
Story. I love that. Oh,
yeah,
that's my child.
Yes, and he called Anderson the Toy Story Andy, and I forgot what he said. Big Cass is gonna get your name on his boot or something.
On his boot, just like Andy had on.
That was brilliant. No one can touch Enzo and Cass on the mic.
I wish they had direction.
Yeah.
They can't do that though.
Yeah. All right. Well,
anyways, let's
end it on a positive.
We're gonna end. We're happy. We're laughing. That's what it's all about. So thank you everyone who tuned into this live Survivor Series 2016 card predictions video. Remember to leave your own card predictions down below in the comments section, and Robbie and I look forward to seeing what you guys are able to come up with. And yeah, Robbie, before we go off the air, you can always get that plug-in for your channel.
Thank you. Well, my name is Robbie1 Kenobi, and I am a YouTuber, a gamer, and I guess you could say I'm a certified G, and you can't teach that. And of course, guys, I always appreciate the support. Make sure to check out my channel. Always make sure to check out Daniel's channel. He's a great friend of mine. You know, I just did a figure pickups video on my channel, so please make sure to check that out. I also have my Hell in a Cell 2016 review on the channel. I just love to do what I do, guys, and I hope to expand my channel to other people, and if I can do it worldwide, shit, that'd be awesome. But as always, please make sure to give my channel a chance, give it a like and subscribe, and share it with your friends, and keep supporting Daniel's channel as well. And we'll keep doing these videos.
Yes, we will. And Robbie, once again, thank you for joining me. And everyone who watched, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Remember to please click my like and subscribe button for more video content coming soon to this channel. And thank you to all my new and existing subscribers. Couldn't do it without you. So with all that said, guys, thank you for watching. We are signing out. Have a great rest of your day. Take care, guys.
Enjoy your day, guys.